President Trump saying he wants to accept this gift, this grand gesture from Qatar, this luxury jet. You even have some Trump allies like Loomer and Ben Shapiro are against it, even saying if this was Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, we would be going crazy right now. Even some Republicans in Congress have been speaking out against it. What do you think?
It must be one heck of a jet. Because I was with President Trump, and the current aircraft is aged. Remember, during his first couple months in office, he went to Boeing and said, look, you're charging us too much, it's going to take too long. He cut a deal with Boeing, where's the plane? And all of a sudden he sees this plane, and I understand it went through Pam Bondi, so it's legal, it's ethical. Does it give the right message? Well, I hope Boeing looks up and goes, look, I got to deliver, but I got to say, it must be one heck of an aircraft.
This is how we've gotten here. People like Ryan Zinke are willing to ignore the blatant ethical and constitutional violations of Trump, excitedly welcoming a $400 million airplane from a foreign government simply because it must be one heck of a jet.
Well, just to follow up on that, because ethics experts are very concerned. They're concerned that it could be considered a bribe. And when you were on the show with me a couple months ago, you said, look, I believe in the Constitution. And as you know, the Constitution says no office holder may accept a gift from a foreign state without congressional approval. Why should Trump be allowed to take this plane? Do you have any issues with it?
Well, I don't think it's a personal gift. I think it's government to government.
But is that a workaround? Because he said it's going to go to the Trump Presidential Library after.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
So what do you think, though? Are you for it, against it? Where do you stand? Do you have any ethics concerns or constitutional concerns?
I'm glad Pam Bondi stepped in and looked at it from a legal point of view, which is helpful. Again, I'll go back. This must be one heck of a plane, because he was on Air Force One. I've been on Air Force One. Right. To me, it's a nice plane. Evidently, remember who President Trump is. He's a billionaire businessman from New York. He doesn't sleep in a sleep bag overnight.
Understand,
what he does,
but even if it's a really nice plane and a heck of a plane, that doesn't take away the other ethics and
But I can see the point too. That is it a good look? Is it a good look to have a Qatari aircraft?
It took Pamela Brown to push past the rehearsed line that it must be one heck of a plane to get this guy to barely admit that it's just not a good look to have a Qatari airplane. And no one believes that Trump's purchased Attorney General Pam Bondi actually looked at the legal aspects of this unethical deal. Zinke literally said that he's happy that she did her job of running interference as some kind of legitimate arbiter, as if he needs someone to tell him what the emoluments clause says about this. By design, the more his coward ass runs cover for this corruption, the more it's accepted as normal.
Do you have concerns? I mean, you were a former Navy SEAL. Do you have concerns about the fact that even President Trump has said Qatari has had relations with the terrorist group Hamas, which is why Laura Loomer and others are speaking out, and that this would have to be completely stripped down to make sure there aren't any bugs or spying gear or anything in it?
Oh, no doubt. They're going to go through this like a fine tooth, they're going to go through everything. But I understand, our aircraft, is it a better aircraft? It must be. Now, to your point, does it provide a leverage over the Qataris? I don't think so with this president. But, he's making deals, and I think it's transactional to him. He looks at it and goes, hey, it's a better airplane. His comment was, you'd be stupid not to take it. I think that's from a business point of view, because he is a business guy. He goes out and, he's making deals everywhere, and he's Mr. Deal Maker.
There's a difference between being a private businessman and being a president. All right, we have to leave it there.
There's the normalization. He's a transactional guy because he's a New York businessman. Yo, bro, that's not a flex or an excuse to say that just because Trump has always viewed the presidency as a means to enrich himself while putting the country at risk, that it's suddenly okay to do it. Imagine taking a job at Burger King and declaring that you think it's cool to give a free Whopper to any of your buddies or family members that happen to come in. If you see a good-looking person walk in, you get to hand them a free meal every day because you're a horny bastard, always have been. No, your ass would get fired for giving away Burger King's money. But as long as you're selling the country out for billions of dollars as the president, somehow selling access and influence isn't a big deal. Look at how big a deal it's gotten by today.
After discussing the situation in Syria with the Crown Prince, your Crown Prince, and also with President Erdogan of Turkey, who called me the other day and asked for a very similar thing, among others, and friends of mine, people that I have a lot of respect for in the Middle East, I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness. Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince.
Sure, sanctions are placed and lifted on countries, but he made a note to say that his decision-making is strictly based on the guy that he went on to point out all the things that he's willing to do for him. So, is it about giving Syria a chance at greatness, or is it about doing favors for Mohammed bin Salman? He's already got a history of excusing the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi for the sake of MBS and all his money. It begs the question, what else is he willing to do for the man that he answers to?
Did MBS lie to you, sir?
I don't know. You know, who can really know? But I can say this. He's got many people now that say he had no knowledge. He told me that he had nothing to do with it. He told me that, I would say, maybe 5 times. Will anybody really know? All right? Will anybody really know?
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I'm not going to tell a country that's spending hundreds of billions of dollars and has helped me do one thing very importantly, keep oil prices down so that they're not going to $100 and $150 a barrel. And the fact is, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to conclude that the Crown Prince did it. Whether he did or whether he didn't, he denies it vehemently. His father denies it, the king, vehemently. But they're vehemently denying it. I hate the crime. I hate what's done. I hate the cover-up. And I will tell you this, the Crown Prince hates it more than I do. And they have vehemently denied it. And frankly, if we went by this standard, we wouldn't be able to have anybody as an ally.
He's always been this transparently for sale. Again, you can lift sanctions and re-enable countries to forge a better path for its citizens, but that's not in his decision-making. He's advertising that whoever pays him the most can get him to do whatever they want him to do. It's why he literally refused to even admit that Russia invaded Ukraine while they were pushing for those peace talks, because Vladimir Putin has him in his pocket. He's willing to literally claim Zelensky started that war, and he's a dictator and refuses to agree to end it. His actions and his reality are based on the price tag that's stamped across his forehead.
And we have great partners in the world, but we have none stronger and nobody like the gentleman that's right before me. He's your greatest representative, greatest representative. And if I didn't like him, I'd get out of here so fast. You know that, don't you? He knows me well. I do. I like him a lot. I like him too much. That's why we give so much, you know? Too much. I like you too much.
Yeah, what a basis for your foreign policy. I mean, even Mohammed bin Salman was like, yo, reel it in a little bit, bro. This is getting a little bit uncomfortable, even for me. I mean, I only paid for the deluxe package. So for Americans to see this and not recognize reality, it takes unprincipled people like Ryan Zinke talking about this heck of a jet. And in this case, Charlie Kirk directly flipping on his stance against Saudis because they gave Trump money. Because he wrote an incredible interest commemorating Saudi Arabia's $600 billion investment into America. It's unclear who will benefit from the $600 billion investment into America and what Saudi Arabia is getting from this country for its money. But regular Americans that could be negatively affected are somehow convinced it's all for them when all this administration has done is take from them for the glory of its oligarchs. So many people pointed out that in 2019, Charlie Kirk just saw a chilling documentary exposing Saudi Arabia. It's more clear than ever, Saudi Arabia funded, planned, and orchestrated 9/11. They murder dissidents they disagree with. They torture women. They execute LGBT people. They fund Wahhabi terrorism. They are not our friends. It's not that he changed his mind. It's that he changed his mind because of the money, which means it's hard to trust anything that they claim to believe in. Just take a look at how this tough guy president that leads a MAGA party that preaches that they don't take any shit from anyone in the world because the United States is the best thing ever. He drops to a knee and takes all that fake patriotism back when money is talking louder than he is. The lack of principles makes these guys dangerously unpredictable.
We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter.